Let's make a quick little video. Welcome back, you guys! No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be doing none of that. Let's not do none of that. No, nobody's even in here at the beginning of these things, so whatever. Whatever, baby, whatever! What up, you nerd? What up, you nerds? We're getting on live right now. We're gonna see who's talking about Superman in a negative aspect, giving my opinion on those types of topics. Again, this is not specifically on any type of creator. We are going to be pulling up creators, right, to kind of hear their thoughts. However, I would just want to give my 2 cents. So we're going to be looking at multiple creators. I'm live. If you want to come and check it out, I'm down below. If you want to give your 2 cents, if you want to tell me what's going on with Superman and how you feel about everything that's been going on as far as marketing, toys, etc., link is down below. I'm live right now. It is 5:27 p.m. Talking about Superman aspect. That's posted. That's posted. But what do I want to do? Oh, hold on. Change of plans. I gotta get my daughter. So you guys got 2 more minutes to get into this thing before I start everything. I'll be right back. I'm back. Can you put the air down to 76? Muchachita! You got it! Thank you. Alright, there's like not a counterpart. Like, dude, I stole my daughter's food because I'm hungry. Yeah, Canes. Alright, I'm back. My bad, dog. My bad. I'm just catching up with my daughter. She just got home. She had a good time with her grandma. Her Bella. What are y'all doing? We're about to get started. It's just... She had Canes. So, of course, I had to steal it, you know? You could not just not steal Canes. You know what I mean? Oh my god. It was so fucking good. She got 2 toasts? What is going on with this girl? I've been feeding this girl like... I've been feeding my daughter like crazy. That girl is full. Dude, I don't trust you. Alright! Alright. Topic for today. Superman. How many people are talking shit about it? I'm gonna look at some content creators. We're gonna type in Superman. And then we're gonna see what people have to say about it. Let's choose a good one. Okay, hold on. Superman thoughts? Superman sucks. I'm just gonna be blunt with it. I don't think it sucks, but okay, here we go. This was put out 7 days ago. If we want to go follow these people, go for it. I don't care.
Apex GP.
I really don't care. I just want to be able to give my 2 cents on some of these people because apparently the hate for it is just increasing. And the problem that I personally think is going on is that there's just nothing but individuals who just want the Snyder cut. Like, the community itself for the Snyderverse is just shitting on this so bad when James Gunn has already stated it was cool. Like, he didn't care. Like, he cares, but you know what I mean? Not only that, Henry Cavill had give the okay. I mean, probably because he's in the goddamn film. But regardless of that, we're going to look at some of these rants. We're going to look at some of these content creators, see what they think, and then just going to break some of them down. Again, I've only done one video about one specific content YouTuber or content creator. I'm not that individual to go like on a rant on everybody's fucking take. I just think that sometimes people just go overboard with it. and they don't give the benefit of the doubt, or they can't imagine anything outside of the Snyderverse. That's all I'm thinking it is, but we'll figure it out. This guy's ranting for vengeance, and my fucking headset is gonna die. Anyways, let's listen to this. 8 minutes, so we're gonna speed this up, just because my brain can process it at a little bit faster speed. I would do 2, but then I don't want to overload everybody.
I demolished Fantastic Four, and now it's time. So yesterday I demolished Fantastic Four, and now it's time for Soyman. And trust me, this is the lowest DC has ever been. But before we get into it, if you want to help out the channel, and
I don't want to help out the channel. I don't. I'm not. I mean, anybody who immediately just starts shitting on a movie without actually watching it, you're wild.
If you like these videos, then maybe consider subscribing or supporting me on Patreon. And
like, don't get me wrong, you can have your opinions all you want, just like I have my opinions when I first saw the Ninja Turtle ones in live action. But I give it a chance because I understand that each continuity is different for every generation. It's rare that you're ever going to be able to see individuals go back and actually make a specific movie the way that it was intended to. You know, if they went, there's a movie that just came out recently that was almost like a God, I can't even remember. There's a handful out there, but right now I can't honestly think about that specific movie at hand. But there are certain movies where they'll immediately bring them back. Indiana Jones, oh, okay, they brought them back, but you know the specifics what Harrison Ford wanted when it came to that Indiana Jones. Again, there's just a handful of movies, and right off the bat, I'm just not in that thinking mode to kind of give you a list of what they are. But people are just nostalgic. I don't think they realize, like, they're growing, right? Just because you feel young doesn't mean that you're actually young. 10 years has already passed, buddy. Let's relax, okay? 10-year Superman, Superman from 10 years ago is going to be different from the Superman that we have today. In many different types of ways. It's always going to be changing. So being able to be open about new movies, regardless of how they look, I believe is important to still go see. If not, then just wait until it comes out on DVD.
about that, I have to thank all the Patreons that have been with me since the start, and all the new ones. And the same goes to all the awesome people out there who've been watching this channel since the beginning. I've also just started...
At least he's giving love to you.
Started up a Twitter account as some sort of backup for this channel. So if I got some people over there, it would really help out the channel as well. So yesterday I thought that Fantastic Four was really bad, and it was. But now Superman has rolled around, and we have a few new clips and teasers, and an interview with Spastic Man himself, David Corn.
I can't tell if this is a character because this is the first time I'm actually seeing this guy. So I'm going based upon what I'm seeing right now.
Sweat. Yeah, the dude has sweat in his name. That's already off-putting. Not to mention the fact that he looks like he has cancer. But really, have a look at this teaser and tell me that it isn't absolute shit. Oh yeah, that's gonna be...
I tried to stop.
It's fine, Mother. Superman, we finally made. Would you like a coffee? Where's the dog?
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
So immediately, he's channeling his inner autistic rage. You've seen it across all the trailers. We've come to know it and love it. It's Autistic Man, Spastic Man, Retard Man. The guy who just yells at innocent women, kids, dogs. Speaking of dogs, he also...
Okay, relax, buddy. Relax, okay? I understand. Rant with vengeance. I get your name. Straightforward, to the point, bunch of cuts. Totally get it. I'm just saying, relax. Relax just a little bit. I mean, you're as angry as a Hulk back here.
also gets his ass kicked by them. But now he's...
Okay, one, Crypto, I'm so tired of those motherfuckers. I'm so tired of people saying, oh, he shouldn't have felt that. He shouldn't have been hurt. It's just his dog. Bro, it's a super dog, okay? His strength is still ridiculously strong for a dog. Just because he's Superman doesn't mean that he can't feel anything. Get out of here, bro.
He's having a mental breakdown because he lost his dog. Now find me Christopher Reeve or Henry Cavill having this bad of a breakdown for something so irrelevant. They might do when innocent people's lives are taken away or if something really bad happens. This guy just hasn't seen his dog in the last 10 minutes and decides to destroy an entire building. If you thought that Henry Cavill snapping Zod's neck was bad, I think that this is worse, and I'm not even a fan of Superman. What the hell is he doing? The first words walking into the room, where's the dog? His energy is not stoic, it's not strong, it's not powerful. And the funny part...
Okay. Somebody took your dog? Yeah, you're gonna be upset. Yeah, you're gonna be yelling. You might even be in their face. If anything, There's a difference between scaring somebody and being intimidating. And just because you scare somebody doesn't mean that you're intimidating. That just means that you're getting to a point where you're going to be making irrational decisions. However, when you're intimidating, you tend to get things the way you want to be able to get them, right? I mean, people will end up folding. Batman, the Flash. You know, if you're an intimidating, well, I can't really use the Flash, right? Invincible, Omni-Man, like those individuals that you've seen recently on the screens, they're intimidating. They're not scared, right? But if somebody stole my dog, I'll probably get hysterical like that. I mean, that's my dog. Like, you have no clue where it's at. I'm coming to the person that I most likely think that has my dog, but I'm still upset about it. Like, that's just my opinion. Like, I might flip off the fucking handle because you stole something that was mine, right? And not only that, I really like Lex Luthor, regardless of him being Superman trying to make himself look intimidating, or if he's just looking like a lunatic, he's still standing there like, what are you doing? That's me. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you acting like this? Relax.
It is. People are arguing online, saying that David Corn Sweat is taller than Henry Cavill. And isn't that what Superman is all about? The fact that he can transform from the hunching Clark Kent into the strong, stoic Superman. It's not about height or weight. It's about the energy. Henry Cavill had it, Christopher Reeve had it, and almost everybody else did, except this freak.
Dog. The dog, loser, you took the dog!
That's right, you get all of this.
The dog, loser! I'm kind of retarded.
It just gets worse with every single second, and everybody around him is also horrible. Like the social media narrative that somehow has a place in the script. I hate when movies do that, bringing in social media, trying to be
what do you expect it to do? Like, what are you talking about? They work for the Daily Planet. It's modern. It's a modern Superman. Typically, like, what do you expect them to? This is the type of shit that I'm talking about. Like, people don't fucking think. And I'm tired of it. It is a modern day Superman. Period. Regardless of how the director or the writer writes Superman and directs Superman. What I'm trying to say is that you still have to be able to understand that there is, unless they wanted to do it at a different time period, this is a modern day Superman. So, what do you expect? Everybody's gonna have a fucking phone on them. It makes sense. And especially the person that Lex Luthor hired to be able to do the social media, that's the whole point!
trendy. But in fact, it does the opposite. It makes it look like a bunch of boomers sat around and made the movie. Thing is, they're not boomers. It's just degenerate, vile sons of bitches like James Gunn who need to be wiped out. And I cannot believe this Lex Luthor. The guy is not one bit intimidating. And also, David...
What are you talking about? He definitely is intimidating based off of that scene alone. Knowing that a unstoppable force is right in front of him. And he has leverage on that unstoppable force. And not faltering. Not like the last Lex Luthor that we had. Look, that was a different Lex Luthor. I'm not saying it was bad. It was a different iteration of Lex Luthor. I think in its own continuity, it might hold up. In its own continuity, far away. Maybe like a Lex Luthor storyline or something like that. It was, for the movie, it wasn't that the best Lex Luthor. Because he was always scared, or at least he always looked scared that Superman was gonna flip his shit. Backed away from him in a cowardly way. This Lex Luthor, he don't give a fuck. I got leverage. What are you gonna do? That's how Lex Luthor should be.
Lex Luthor. The guy is not one bit intimidating, and also David Corn Sweat here and Nicholas Hoult are both just two gay guys in real life. I'm not even using hyperbole. I'm not even trying to be funny. I thought the fact...
Not a good look.
Fantastic Four First Steps was a sequel to Brokeback Mountain, but it seems that that's what Superman is.
Where's the dog?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
I have leverage. That's what that shows. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what's going on. What you got? What you gonna do to me? Nothing. Because you fuck with me, then you're never gonna see that dog again.
Yeah, you cannot take any of this seriously after you've seen these two men kissing just 5 seconds ago. They're face to face. I have not seen your dog. He's screaming, "Where's my dog?" It's just laughably cringe.
He's just a dog. He's just a dog.
No shit.
I don't know what dog you're talking about. Ugly dog, okay? What did you say?
And here we go again with the Marvel humor that nobody on planet Earth finds funny. And I've seen some leaked reviews.
I think it was pretty funny. Not, oh my god! I think it was entertaining.
I don't know, they might be fake, but people have been saying everything that the film looks like. Saying that the score and the visuals and the flying scenes that don't look good are somehow the best part about the movie. And I've heard that David Corn's sweat doesn't even put in a good performance. And we're seeing that here. 1 second, the dude
I've heard differently.
is an autistic screaming wreck, and the next, he looks like he's about to burst out into tears of laughter or kiss Lex Luthor. So that's the first scene
Okay, never mind. I was about to say, are we only focusing on this fucking scene?
that's been released. Screw everybody who wrote that and thought that it was a good idea. As I've said previously, I'm not even a Superman fan. I don't really buy into characters like Superman, but I've read some of his
But you're ranting about it. Wouldn't you want to... Look, I get it. When you're a content creator, you got to find something to hold on to. So, right? Let's just talk about something that I have no education on at all. And when I say education, it's like for the kids, it doesn't matter to them. They're superheroes. They look up to them. For us, we, in some type of way, have nostalgia built into us. So when it comes to education, we know about past films, past comic books, past stories, other iterations, multiverses, etc., etc. So, I mean, it's right in front of your face. You know what I'm saying.
comics, I've watched most of his movies and TV shows, and I know that this is not him. It's a simple point, and it's just a philosophy with these brand new movies. You don't have to be left, you don't have to be right, you don't have to be any certain race to figure out that these just plain suck. And if you thought that David Corn Sweat Superman...
So did you want race to be a factor in here? Did you not want politics to not be a factor in this?
wasn't retarded enough, he somehow got worse.
Ow, stop, Crypto, ow, stop, stay. I'm gay.
I'm just gonna do a quick little experiment here. If you found...
Talking about it is a unhinged dog that he has no control over, because that's what puppies do, right? You have a dog, that's untrained, they do stupid shit. That would be my reaction if my fucking dog did that.
any of that funny,
Get the fuck off
please
me.
leave
No,
a comment
no.
so the world knows which retards to stay away from. Spastic Man is falling around like some gay dude, like saying ow over and over. This Superman should be called the fag of steel. And hold up everybody, we have a brand new updated shot. You know that flying scene that everybody demolished across the internet because it looked utterly stupid? Well, they went back and fixed it, everybody. Look at the brand new final version that's 10 times better. Oh wait, it's still one of the worst shots in cinema history. Can somebody please tell me how the original Christopher Reeve and Man of Steel flying scenes look better? What the hell is this? What camera are they using? Is it a fisheye?
You know why it looks better? It's because it was legitimately live action. That's why it looks better. And again, that's from nostalgia purposes, 100%. Because you're talking about Christopher Reeve. When you look at that film today, it still holds up specifically because, one, it was not only shot beautifully, but the choreography behind the acting, the poses, the shots, it was just done so beautifully that you couldn't even tell sometimes. Like, you were so immersed into the film, like you didn't care. You look at these types of things, it's filled with nothing but CGI and shit like that. So, I mean, it makes sense why it looks better. But you're talking about nostalgia, guys, so you're not seeing it from a different point of view. Can you say that you see from a different point of view? No, because then you wouldn't just be one-sided opinionated on it.
Lens pressed up against the guy's forehead, making him look like a Down syndrome. Speaking of Down syndrome, just take a look at that picture right there and the post to go along with it. James Gunn talks about Clark Kent's disguise and how he uses hypno glasses, which is just the most stupid thing ever. And you can guess why. It comes from one of the most stupid comic book writers of all time. Now, Tom King, if you like this...
Here's the thing. I think that's an amazing thing that they ended up doing. It goes to show that James Gunn knows what he's talking about and knows Superman.
Hi guys, go back to another YouTube channel. YouTube video.
And
I'm gonna go check them.
Okay. So he knows what he's talking about and he knows what he's doing, right? So he knows that at some point in time in the Superman story, they explain that his glasses create this hypnotic effect to other beings, and in this case, humans, to make sure that they do not recognize him as Superman. So from a lore aspect, That's pretty on point. You're saying it's stupid because you have nothing to go based off of, and you say one of the stupid comic book writers when you haven't even acknowledged if you even read comics. So, yo, these rants, dog, like, I get it. They get views. It's just sometimes it's reputation. That's what it really is, right? Like, your reputation online is the most important thing, especially if you're a content creator. So if you're an individual who just seems uneducated and just talks out of their ass, 100%, you're gonna get drama views. That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get drama views. I don't like drama views.
This guy, then screw you, because I hate him. He ruined Batman.
I'm sorry. That sounds contradictory because I'm watching a drama channel, but the specific live is based upon my opinions on what some of these individuals are talking about to kind of shed additional light onto the other side of what people were talking about and what people were thinking. I'm defending both sides in some type of way. He's just going off of a fucking piss rant. I don't understand what the fuck this is. He's just talking out of his ass at this point in time. At least know what you're talking about.
He ruined Green Lantern, and from the sound of it, he ruined Superman. Long story
How did you...
short, Tom King is the guy that made Batman. He ruined Green Lantern, and from the sound of it, he ruined everything ever. And you can guess why. It comes from one of the most stupid comic book writers of all time. Now, Tom King, if you like this guy, then screw you, because I hate him. He ruined Batman, he ruined Green Lantern, and from the sound of it, he ruined Superman. Long story short, Tom King is the guy that made Batman sit down in a therapy room and start crying like a little bitch. I don't know about you, but the fact that James Gunn is giving respect to people who created crap like that is just beyond cringe. Now, I don't know, you might have...
But it's the realism behind these characters. That's why you have to understand, yes, they're superheroes. You know, when you talk about, not you specifically, sir, but when people talk about superheroes or characters that just can't be beaten, my immediate thought is like Dragon Ball Z. That's my immediate thought. Like, they have to be almost invincible and unkillable in order for them to be a superhero. Like, they have no emotions on the back end of that. You look at Vegeta when he sacrificed himself for the team and had to say goodbye to his son. Not a lot of kids understood that, like what that meant, right? And the sacrifice was really cool. But rewatching that as an adult, that's different. Knowing that I had to sacrifice everything that I just worked so hard to get for those that I finally recognize that I love and care about, that's the real reward. Sacrificing yourself for those that you take care of. You know what I mean? The ones that you care about. So they make it sound like Superman is supposed to be this individual ever since Snyderverse. This individual that just is just strong, tough, intimidating. It's stupid, dude. These guys live on planet Earth, bro.
This isn't ours, but it's just staying there.
Throw it away. These people live on planet Earth, so most of these people are either human, or if they're not human, they lived with humans that was able to understand feelings, emotions, being able to tap those things in. So it makes sense why some of these characters that some of these individuals have written as comic books have those types of emotions. But for you just to kind of say that it's shit because they created emotions into a superhero comic, that's ridiculous. That's how you make them relatable, stupid. Stupid.
have a different opinion on this, and I'm not really going to attack David Corn Sweat, because the guy might be a great guy in real life, but he acts really gay and retarded, so I wouldn't really bet on it, especially when he's in a Hollywood piece of shit. But he says that his favorite superhero growing up was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. That's really interesting, dude, but Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy is a masterpiece. Tobey Maguire is probably in the top 3 superhero growing up was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. That's really interesting, dude, but Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy is a masterpiece. Tobey Maguire...
He did not just say that the Spider-Man trilogy was a masterpiece. The trilogy. That means all 3 films. That's a wild take. That's a wild take.
is probably in the top 3 or 2 best superheroes on screen. It's unbeatable, and it should be the gold standard formula.
Spider-Man 1 and 2 for sure. Just to clarify for some of those. Spider-Man 1 and 2 for sure. 3? No. Trilogy is not a masterpiece. Far from it because of the third one.
on how to make a superhero movie. And he talks about it in this interview. Whilst looking like a cancer patient, might I add.
I grew up on the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
Now listen, once again, this guy probably isn't a horrible person. He's definitely not as bad as James Gunn. But the thing is, in the age that
Yeah, but then if you compare Spider-Man and Superman, they do have a lot of good characteristics put together, to be honest with you. And some of the characteristics, if you really thought about it, was in the Sam Raimi, which kind of portrays some of the stuff that I've been seeing in these trailers. So, just pointing that out.
we live in now, I cannot take your word, because Matt Shackman, the director that nobody knows who the hell he is, the guy making Fantastic Four, said the exact same stuff, saying that he was going to take from the comics and it's going to be like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. You cannot believe anything that these people say. Don't be mistaken into thinking that anybody, anywhere near Hollywood, Marvel or DC, gives a crap about you. These companies and the people behind them are the enemy. As real fans of the source material and the entertainment format, we must rebel against people like this. You're definitely not...
People who say that they're going to bring certain things from the comic books to real life, they didn't say that it was going to be like shot for shot. They didn't say that it was going to be the whole complete story, right? But what they did say is that they're bringing the characters to life. So when you see Galactus, he's straight from the comic books to life. The Silver Surfer, straight from the comic, but well, the character, the Silver Surfer, Shia LaBeouf, a different universe character, but still in the comics first, brought to life. The Fantastic Four suits, brought to life. What are you talking about? They didn't say that the story was gonna be from the comic books. They stated that they were bringing Herbie and the Thing, ridiculously brought to life. Ridiculous.
Not gonna like it, and you're gonna complain a lot, but this is what needs to be done. Don't see any of these movies. Gatekeep the stuff that was actually made with respect and care, and boycott directors and actors that don't give a crap about us, the fans, because that's all that really matters, the fans. It's not James Gunn or actors talking about what movies they like. It's the fans that supported these companies and made this happen over the years, since the 60s and 40s. So it's up to you to decide whether or not Superman becomes a flop or a major success. But in my personal opinion, that I don't give a crap what you think about, screw this movie and screw everybody who made it and made this happen over the years.
Here's the thing. Everybody has their own vision of these characters. When I saw Child's Play, though, let's take a good example of Child's Play. Child's Play reboot. As much as I love you, Mark Hamill, as much as I love Chucky, that was just straight garbage. That movie, Chucky, was garbage, 100%. But that was their vision. Can I respect it? If I were to say if that's a different universe's Chucky, fine. I will accept it. Some of the kill counts were cool, but far from Chucky as what we know. Far from it. And they got Mark Hamill. How dare you do that to him? How dare you? I don't know. All right. So that's ranting for vengeance or whatever it is. So we're going to go to Tyrone Magnus because it's been a little while since we checked to see what he's been doing. Just watch the movie. Okay. Now, Tyrone Magnus is an individual that I will say you guys can go and support. He has been on YouTube for way over a decade, and he has just been, he always kills it whenever it comes to certain things. However, lately, his hate for Superman has significantly grown just because, well, he usually gives his opinion all the time. So let's go ahead and get into Tyrone Magnus's newest video. Just watch the movie for yourself, bro.
I do movie reviews and trailer reactions, I see these comments more and more and more. And
yeah, because you're shitting on the film so hard, bro. You're shitting on the film so fucking hard.
I've recently kind of changed my mind on the thought process for going to see a movie. So,
no, you didn't.
One thing I talked about a few reactions ago was how I think there's a lot of bots in my comment section. You know, sometimes, you know, people, it's just, they all say the same thing. They parrot the same thing that I've seen in either maybe another YouTuber's video or a post on Twitter, and it's bot-like. It's just all the same thing. while I do believe that some of them are legitimate, I do think that companies have bot farms for good and for bad.
Wait, yes, I get what you're saying. That's his stick, man. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Yes, we understand, bro. Just talk. I know you're talking to the audience, but you can't hear us.
What I'm saying? To maybe push something they want, or maybe shun something they don't want as an aspect to their products. Well, I talked about before the whole thing of how there are these people that always say, whenever I do a reaction, and it's always in reply to my reaction or to someone saying, I'm not going to see the movie until Tyrone gives his review. If Tyrone says it's good, I'm going. If he says it's not good, I'm not going. Okay? So think about this for a second. There's people that always say, go see the movie on your own. Make your own effing decision. Be a man and go see it for yourself. Go see the movie for yourself. And I know it's a lot.
Yeah, bro, go see the fucking movie for yourself before you just start judging based upon what you're seeing. Like, look, I get it, man. Trailers look like shit sometimes. I get it. But sometimes some of the smartest producers, screenwriters, these individuals give you the shittiest shit because when the shit actually hits the fan, they want you to be surprised. They want you to be... They want an honest reaction, right? So if they give too much, what's the point? This type of situation, because it's Superman, yeah, go see the fucking film, dude. Just make your own opinion. Like, yes, it's a little bit hokey, but I'm still gonna go see the fuck out of it just because I want to see what James Gunn has to do. You know, James Gunn, as we all know, because he advertises as much so and everybody talks about it, but he is the main guy for, excuse me, for Guardians of the Galaxy. He created all three. He executed them perfectly. He's done Brightburn. He's been on some projects like in the background. Yeah. Not only that, this dude is super tight with Geoff Johns. And Geoff Johns, he didn't create Superman, you know, he didn't make his own iteration of Superman. I mean, it's in his stories. His guy is the Green Lantern. But Geoff Johns is an amazing individual when it comes to like giving feedback, because Geoff Johns has killed it in the comic book world and the DC animated world on top of all that. Not a lot of people could say that they did really good at both ends. Comics and animated films, that's wild. He got to bring his Green Lantern to life in the animated films and everybody else that he was able to create and draw for his stories.
Sometimes, and it's often worded the same way. And I said, you know, I think a lot of those may be bots, because once they have your money, you can't get it back. You get what I'm saying?
We can't respond to you, Tyrone. Yes, we understand what you're saying. Just talk.
You to spend that money.
Sorry.
But what is a trailer? A trailer is basically a commercial for their product, which is their movie. It's supposed to get you to want to at least try it, to at least give it a fair shot. All right? At the most, watch the whole movie. Go spend your money, sit down in that theater and watch the whole movie. But here's the thing. Not everyone makes decisions the way you do. Not everyone makes buying decisions the way you do. And that's fair. People make buying decisions differently.
Yeah, because you're going into a therapeutic aspect now, basically stating that you can't control something that you have no control over. Totally understand that. You can't control me as much as I can't control you. Now you're just going from a therapeutic standpoint, which tells me you've been in therapy for something. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to like overstep. I'm just saying it's like you just don't learn these skills through life. Sometimes a lot of these people understand these skills by going to therapy.
Correct? For example, some people just go and buy a car.
It's just true. Is it the smartest decision? No, not at all.
I've seen used a lot where you do not even have to test drive. You just say, this is the car I want. Okay, they'll sign you up and everything. Sorry, it's not how I do things. Most people, though, want to test drive a car. But what do we have in today's day and age? Just like we had a little while ago before the internet, we have write-ups in magazines. We have reviews of those cars. There are many people that read the reviews. Nowadays, they watch the reviews of these cars.
I don't fucking watch the reviews of cars because I'm not just going out and buying a fucking car. Like what, the average person buys a car, the lease is 6 years unless you trade it in. They're buying a car maybe every 4 to 7 years. At least from my experience. Keep in mind, this is not like statistical facts. It's just from my experience. People around me, people I live with, myself buying cars. Yeah, we're finishing that contract so we can own the fucking car. But there are people who just go out and buy cars. That is absolutely true. That's not your fan base though. Like I think that's the one thing, like he's kind of lost the aspect of the fan base, his fans, and how to become a unopinionated film reviewer. That's just my personal opinion. He's lost his way in some type of way. And all I know is that it's more opinionated now than neutral than it like it used to be. Like I promise you go back like 5-10 years when he first, doing YouTube. You'll see. Well, actually, you know what? We could do that together. We're going to check that out here in a little bit.
And then they make their decision of where.
Watch, I promise you. This Tyrone is not the same Tyrone when he was his original apartment. That's the Tyrone that I like. The only thing that I don't like about Tyrone, it's not that I don't like about it, it's just a hitch, is that he doesn't do much with his videos anymore. He had the same setup for over 10 years. I kid you not. Maybe a new computer, but the same setup. He doesn't have like his own computer. He hasn't upgraded. When you watch his films, all these other new reactors are getting with the times and adding a bunch of little clips, and they're adding this and they're adding that. It's so smooth. It's so nice. Even my own editings too. Like it's just so smooth. It's nice. I'm able to add more. I'm able to do captions. I'm able to do this. He stayed the same for 10 years. He reached 1 million, man. This dude, he reached him. I was like, dude, this dude's gonna make it. And he hasn't really, he's at 2 million. But after how many more years? And that's because you're not upgrading your shit. Like, it's sad to say, but streaming purposes, like, you gotta upgrade your shit. If not, you're gonna be...
Whether they even want to test drive it. The problem with a trailer and a test drive is that sometimes they do not tell you just how good that car, aka movie, will be. Some people go and test drive a car and they love that first test drive. But over the next months, after they bought that car, they realized these are some irritating features.
The only way that you're going to be able to realize that is seeing it more and more times, right? You watch a film, it's either really good or it's really bad. That's how it always goes. It doesn't really matter. You're leaving the film really good or really bad. There's hardly any neutral unless you're like really in the moment and you're just trying to overanalyze everything. In my experience, I just go in, I try to enjoy the movie, and then it's either really good by the end of the movie or it's really bad, right? So then what happens is that in a specific type of sense, he's talking about like a couple months go by and you rethink about it and you go, it's just not that good. It's not that it's just not that good. It's just you're starting to forget how good it was. So you need to go back and rewatch it just to confirm what you're talking about is correct. A lot of people don't do that and that type of stuff anymore. He's talking about off of memory. I would be an individual to be like, you know what? I'm going to go watch it again just to confirm how I feel, right? That way I can get a better understanding. That way I can continue to defend the film, whether it's good or bad.
That are going on in this car. It's the same thing for a movie. You see the trailer hypes you up, you think it's going to be great. You go see the movie, and as you're watching it, you're like, oh, no, this is not the movie for me. It's the same thing. Don't you get it? Like,
it's Pod's last
oh
sale.
My God, Pods! Get out of my fucking face!
When I first started YouTube, me and my ex used to watch Jeremy Johns all the time. And it got to the point.
Don't forget to subscribe and comment.
To where, see, I felt that Jeremy was very similar to myself. With some coffee house, art house.
Let me know what you think about the Superman film so far, what you've seen. Back to the show.
Movie snobbing him. Just a little bit. I can see it sometimes, you know what I mean? I felt that Stuckman was super coffee movie house snob. Like he's got a certain artsy fartsiness about his style. He likes stuff that a lot of people that I know just don't like. You get what I'm saying? He has an artsy fartsiness to him. But Jeremy, out of all of them, I thought was like, he's most like me. I like almost every single movie he says is good, I think is good. And the girlfriend was the same way. So what we started to do was we wouldn't just go see a movie. We would wait until Jeremy's review before we decided to go.
Oh, brother!
Skyline. There's a movie called Skyline. It was like an alien invasion type movie.
Skyline was a fucking good movie. Fuck you. I mean, it wasn't the best movie, but it was a pretty entertaining film.
And the trailers looked damn good. I watched Jeremy's review before she came over that night. We were supposed to go see it. And he said it was terrible. I told her, and we were on like a first name basis with Jeremy here. He didn't know this. We knew. I was like, I saw his review, babe. She was like, Jeremy didn't like it? I was like, he didn't. He said it was bad. They're like, oh. And we really wanted to see it. So what did we do? We was like, I know, we gotta see though. Like, part of me don't believe him. He was absolutely twofold correct. That movie was hot trash.
It was not that bad, dude. See, that's what I'm saying, dog. You gotta look, like, I guess I just look at movies completely differently. I look at a movie going in, like, what were they thinking when they were making this part? I try to come up with a reason, that way I can enjoy the film. My ultimate goal is to come out enjoying a film. I don't want to go to a movie and just fucking think that it's absolute hot trash. Throughout that film, I kind of started like creating this like, well, maybe they thought this and maybe they thought that. Maybe they thought this was going to be a good idea and XYZ. So then you start like, I start to kind of start liking certain parts of the film. It wasn't the best film, but it was an okay movie. Like Skyline wasn't hot trash.
It was trash. He was right. Now, do you see it? These people build up this rapport with us and with other reviewers and with other people that review other things. It doesn't matter whether it's movies, TV shows, whether it's computers, phones. Let me tell you something. Before I buy a phone, I watch Marquez Brownlee and Mr. Who's the Boss. Those are my two main ones to go to immediately. Okay? If they both were to tell me that a phone is trash, I'm not buying it. I'm not going to even go to T-Mobile or Verizon or Boost Mobile or Sprint or whoever it is that I need to get the phone from to even test it out and see how I'm not.
Like, don't get me wrong, flagship phones are definitely fucking the way to go, you know, if you want a dependable phone. But there are plenty of phones out there that on a budget, or if you need to be able to do things like have 2 lines instead of 1, there's a phone called Blue that's out there. Completely inexpensive, but works like a fucking charm, dude. Not a AAA title, but more like an A series Samsung. So, but it's called Blue, and you can have 2 SIM cards in it. I'm personally thinking about picking one up when this phone is paid off as my main driver. That way I can have a business line and a personal line. Dude, that would be fucking sick, bro.
Not even going. I built up a rapport with them. They're trusted advisors to me. See, many people have financial advisors. They don't just make a financial decision out of the blue.
That's called creating a friendship around people who have the same idealistic aspects of you. If you just look at them as a business aspect, that's wild to me. Like, as long as I've been in social media, as long as I've been doing these things, and finally putting in my feet in the water with all these other content creators, every person that I meet, if we get along, I want you to know that I'm just not this one person interaction person like this dude. Like, I'm gonna be coming around to check up on you. I'm gonna be coming around to say how you're doing. I'm gonna be coming around saying how happy holidays to you. You know, I'm gonna be at a store. I see something that reminds me of that person. I'm gonna be like, bro, this thing, I'm gonna take a picture of it. I'm gonna fucking send it to you. Like, I'm that person to make friends. If you're just strictly meeting these content creators for business purposes, because look, like Tyrone, again, he's been around for a while, but he doesn't really mingle anymore. Like, he used to do like lives. Like, he used to do like lives and content creating with other content creators, like over social media. Like, it was really cool for him to be able to do those types of things. and it's just things completely shifted. And I'm wondering it's because what I was talking about earlier, as far as him being significantly opinionated on certain topics. Like, that'll hurt anybody's career. Like, if I were to say that I was one type of political party, there's going to be plenty of individuals that are going to be like, ew, I don't want nothing to do with you. See, that life shouldn't be that way. Life should be able to be the way that you're able to express yourself without any type of judgment, and be able to have cordial conversations and even have fun with individuals, even if they are a completely different political party, race, etc., etc. Right? That's how it should be. But I don't know. And maybe that's another thing. Maybe that's why he's not growing as much, because they used to. I remember Akasan and all them, the reactors that I used to watch. You know, they're the ones that kind of got me into like doing content creating when it comes to like movie reviews or trailer reactions and stuff like that. Like, I wanted to be a reactor, so I kind of looked up to these guys. But after the years, and Tyro Magnus, man, I can't even say I even look up to the dude specifically, because it's like he came in a completely different direction. And this is just from my opinion, because if I go back to Akasan, that's funny because I talk about that, because I just went back to his channel the other day. He's still the same dude, but he's still entertaining. Like, he doesn't really get into politics. He doesn't really get into, and if he does, I haven't seen it personally. I might have to go check his channel, but he's still the same dude since day one that I remember watching him. But Tyrone significantly shifted to like politics and, you know, these bad reviews or these trailers, and just bashing on these fucking movies. It's wild, man, how much he's changed.
They have advisors. They may talk to their lawyer. They may talk to their accountant. They may talk to their financial advisor about certain decisions they're going to make. You see, men have a lot of testosterone in them, especially young men. You kind of got this gung-ho thing about you.
This dude, bro, he's always bringing up some shit like this. Manly men, bitchify, testosterone. Like, get the fuck out of here. So fucking.
Just do it, bro. Just make your own effing decision, bro. And I'm kind of like that in certain aspects.
You're like that all the time, dog.
However, the more information that a man has,
how many Superman how many Superman reactions have they made? Just completely just, they're trying to bitchify him. Get the hell out of here, dog.
Better decision he can make about that particular decision. Correct? That's the reason why they come to us. So stop shunning the people that say, I'm waiting to look at several.
The only reason why they're coming to you is because nobody wants to read anymore. Do you understand me? Prior to any of this shit, prior to YouTube coming up, how do you think people were reading the reviews? Rotten Tomatoes reviews, articles. The only reason why they're coming to you is because of this. But the problem about this is that not one of these individuals, other than a couple of the ones that I've already mentioned, Tyrone, you 100% bash on a fucking movie prior to it coming out. You do this all the time since I've been watching you. And it's cringe as fuck. Because we both know, as much as you're a Superman fan, you've talked about Christopher Reeves I don't know how many fucking times, but then you go back to immediately like, he was a silly character. Like Christopher Reeves, yes, he was stoic, he was strong. Oh, that's cool. He was stoic, he was strong. He was able to change from, you know, that Clark Kent hunched over to a tall, confident Superman. That's cool. Oh my God, get out of here. That's stupid. You're ridiculous. How long do they stay on? Oh.
It's just a permanent, but until they come off.
Oh yeah, until you start eating them. But you know, he's stoic, he's strong, he can turn into that. But there was plenty of times in that specific movie where he was a little bit silly. Not all the time, but a little bit silly. It's just a different ship because it's a different director. And if you've known that this film was gonna look like this either way, James Gunn's style is Guardians of the Galaxy. You think he's gonna let go of that style when it works so well? I don't think so. Trust the process.
reviews before I go. Or I have to wait for Tyrone's review, or Jeremy John's review, or the Critical Drinkers review, or Nerdrotic's review, or Stuckman's review, or whoever's review, Cosmic Wonders review, okay? It doesn't matter, Schmo's Nose review. If they have a rapport with them, trust.
But again, it kind of goes back to that one-sidedness, right? So if they hear you trashing about it, they're not going to go see it, which hurts sales. Same thing in reverse. You talk good about it, they're going to go see it. Sales go up. Your job as a creator prior to the movie that comes out is for you to be able to give your opinion, but not your one-sided opinion. Just think you're not quite too sure, kind of move on from there. You know, give your thoughts. I hope it turns into this. I hope it turns into this. I hope we're going to see this. I hope we're going to see that. Because the problem is that if this project comes out to do really well, then you might get something that you actually want in the future as this character grows. So you got to keep in mind, this is a completely different reboot. And this is a Superman that probably hasn't he's gone through some trials, some challenges, but I don't think he's met his Zod yet. Does that make sense? See, now I'm talking to you guys, but you guys can actually respond in the live chat. But do you understand? At this point in time, he can end up getting what he wants, possibly, once he gets his Zod event. And I'm not saying it's going to be Zod. I'm just saying once he gets his Zod event, that will change this Superman's character.
With them, and those are the people that they go to. They have found that over the years, these people agree with them and have several.
Dude, you're gonna flip out when I go back 10 years of Tyrone Magnus and go, that's a completely different Tyrone. If not, then I've been blind this whole fucking time.
They have taste like them, you know what I mean? So they know. They're like, some people come and I'll see in the comments, man, I've agreed about every single movie you've ever reviewed, or they'll be like, only except like 1 or 2 movies, man, we always agree, so I gotta wait for your review. I understand it. I get it.
What do you mean?
But for the rest of us that like to jump in head first, I'm like that. I just go see it for myself. That's how I am. Then I watch reviews now. That's how I do it. I just do it like that. You know what I mean? Part of it's because it's what I do. But part of it is I just got to see for myself. Because what if I'm missing out on a jewel? Because every once in a while, Jeremy, he doesn't like a movie, and I do. That does happen. Get it? So just live and let live. 10 million subscribers. Woo!
So he's only getting up to 2 within like a very, very long, significant amount of time. Okay, let's look at Tyrone Magnus from like 10 years ago. So you got that Tyrone, right? Let's do 6 years ago. Let's see. See, he used to do this type of shit. Look at that. He doesn't do that type of shit no more. He just completely stopped. It's kind of crazy, actually. All right, let's see. Worldwide news. Try not to laugh. Okay. So we're going to go under videos, and we're going to go to the oldest. Right? So this is his oldest shit from like 13 years ago. And you can kind of look at him and, yeah, looking back at this, it just didn't look great. Friends with benefits. See, some of this shit I haven't gone through. It's just when he started doing reactions is when I... Where is it? See, he did a lot of women things. Oh my god. Yeah, this is all cringe shit, bro. People need to go back and relook at this shit because there's a lot of... somebody's gonna have the time to go back to all of this shit. Where are your reviews, bro? Seriously. Racist black people? What the fuck, bro? You were talking about all this? See, I don't... I'm sorry, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Where is it? Okay. So we're gonna look at his Man of Steel.
Alright, y'all, look, I'm about to go crazy. I've seen the TV spots for Man of Steel. I didn't even know they was out. And fuck all y'all for not telling me they was out. But I just found them. Look like they're like 3 or 4 days old. And I'm gonna get to it. I got them all jumbled up in my head. I just watched them. I don't know what's what, but I watched a few of them. And I'm about to go crazy because this movie is getting better and better and better. Now, they're gonna start it off. They're gonna start off and get me hyped by showing me this shit right here.
Can you imagine how people on this planet would react if they knew that?
That is the shit right there. Did you see that post? They started it out right there. That's what I'm talking about.
This shit. Him behind the camera. Him getting into it. Him getting enthusiastic. That's the Tyrone.
You know what I'm saying? I like shit like that when it's all in this fucking anyway. So then, you know, they got this other shit like Zod pulled out a sword and was walking toward him. And that shit was hot. And then they had like they showed that alien shit landing.
Dude, he has so much energy, dude. It's like it really goes to show like from what he used to do compared to what he's doing now. It really shows that characteristic has just completely fallen short from the apple tree. Like I feel like it could still be there, but when did he start doing? Look, now I'm going down the rabbit hole. I just want to see. My God, you were with that chick for a while, weren't you, boy? I don't even remember. Maybe I just don't remember, man. I think I got into you way later. Like when you actually started sitting down. Was that it? No. No. Dude, there's so... Yeah. Huh? Okay. Is the water going or no? Dude, where's your review? Okay, here we go. So we're gonna watch one of his old reviews. I was just looking for a fucking movie review, bro. That's all I was looking for.
This business AI hack feels illegal to know about. It's like Canva, ChatGPT, Google Docs, and...
Shut the fuck up. Alright. So we're gonna watch one of his older ones, and I just want you all to see the difference.
Movie review out with a public service announcement to DC and Warner Brothers. You better lace up your bootstraps and pull out the big guns, because Marvel is a juggernaut of savage destruction in this era of the comic book wars that's going on. It's this comic book war movie era. They are destroying you, DC. And guess what? Guess how I know? Because they have put another nail in the coffin with Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know where to start. This movie was off the chain. They amped him up so much from Avengers and the first Captain America movie. See, because I can remember watching the first Captain America movie and kind of being like, I was okay with it. And I saw him in Avengers, and I felt as though Captain America was outshined. You know, him and people like, you know, Hawkeye and Black Widow were outshined by the people with the superpowers. You know, the Hulk, Thor, you know, and Iron Man. And I'm just thinking to myself, you know, I wasn't very impressed with him in Avengers. I wasn't. I think they knew what I was thinking, along with every other person that loves Marvel. I was probably thinking, yeah, you know, Cap is the leader. You know, he's kind of outshined, man, you know. So the man is doing things in this movie, and he don't go nowhere without his shield, by the way. But he's doing things that Batman does in the comics, that Batman should have been doing in the movies. Christopher Nolan, I love you in your trilogy, and I know that you were bringing a more realistic person in Batman to the screen. I loved it. No problem with that. But moving forward, you cannot have Captain America doing things and destroying people the way the Dark Knight was meant to do in his movies. When you bring him to the Superman universe, we're gonna have to amp him up. Not talking about that anymore right now. Yo, Mr. Rogers was, it was just off the chain. And by the way, you're not gonna get a man, when you watch my movie reviews, you're not gonna get a man that says, the screenplay was horrible. Well, I must say the cinematography was wonderful. No, I'm not that guy. When you come to my channel, when you're watching reactions and reviews, you're talking to a regular man. You're talking to a guy that will call you it was wonderful. No, I'm not that guy. You're not going to get a man, when you watch my movie reviews, you're not going to get a man that says the screenplay was horrible. Well,
That changed.
I must say the cinematography was wonderful. No, I'm not that guy. When you come to my channel, when you're watching reactions and reviews, you're talking to a regular man. You're talking to a guy that will call you, which would be my buddy, after he gets out the movie, like, yo, you guys see this fucking movie, it was off the motherfucking chain. Black Widow was destroying people, kicking ass. My girlfriend was getting all mad every time they showed her booty or her curves or a little bit of titty meat poking.
You can't tell me. Yo, you know why he's with the fucking girlfriend that he is with now. To this day, he loves Scarlett Johansson. 100%. His girlfriend's name is Scarlo. She looks like a Scarlett Johansson. You know why. No judgment. I'm just saying.
You know, she was ready to whip my ass. What can I say, girl? You did your thing in this movie, Ms. Johansson. And Nick Fury was doing his thing. Oh my God, this one part. See, because I always thought that Nick also never got a chance to shine. He got a chance to shine in this movie, man. He was kicking ass. I was like, yo, Nick is doing his thing. He is holding his own. You always see him overlooking everything and barking orders. You know he's nice, but he don't never really do nothing but shoot a gun. Speak some harsh words from time to time, some strong words from time to time. And then let's see who else we had. We had Falcon killing it. Yo, he really shined in this movie. The wings, the flight, the acrobatics. I thought they was gonna maybe, because sometimes.
All right, that's enough. That's enough. Significantly different from the Tyrone that we have now. All right, but this isn't gonna be like a Tyrone fucking day today. All right, so I'm just saying he's significantly changed. We're gonna do. Let's see. What was that? Oh, never mind. Y'all didn't see it. I saw it.
I love.
Okay, we got one more. High CHD. High CHD. The title of it is The Snyder Cult's Insane Criticism of James Gunn's Superman. I want to hear this fuck out of this. Hold on.
Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. What's going on, guys? We're back with another YouTube video. So as you guys know, the Superman movie is coming out next month, and as each trailer for this movie drops, the hate for this movie becomes more and more insane and unhinged.
Yeah, it is kind of.
Now, here's the thing. No one is saying that you have to be interested in this movie, right? That's not what the argument is. Because people love to make insanely stupid statements and arguments online, and then when someone tries to refute that statement or gives evidence that contradicts what was said, instead of giving a rebuttal, they'll try to reframe it as, I can't have an opinion. No one is saying that you can't have an opinion on the movie. No one is saying that. It is completely fine to look at something like a teaser or a trailer and just be like, it's not for me. At the end of the day, everything is not going to appeal to everyone. That's just kind of an objective truth because there's so many people and everyone's different. Now, there's a difference between that and then being so hell-bent on making a movie look bad that we just start throwing nitpicks and criticisms at the movie that don't even make any sense to try and tear the movie down, which is basically what's happening here. Now, we kind of all know where all of this hate is coming from. It's mainly from hardcore Snyderverse fanboys that just can't accept anything new. And here's the thing, I understand it. I understand to an extent why Snyder's version of DC has its fans. Like, Man of Steel was a pretty good movie, all things considered. I liked seeing Kal-El's character develop.
So many fucking problems, though, but yes, really good.
Throughout the movie.
See, that's another thing too. Like, a film could be trash, but then still be good. Sharknado?
Movie, learning about his alien heritage, learning what it means to be Earth's protector, while at the same time having to embrace and accept the ugliness of humanity's flaws. His whole story arc, I think, was pretty well written. His first flight scene is a literal masterpiece in cinematography. Like, I still go back and watch that scene sometimes just because of how well shot it is. Now, I do know people weren't a fan of Superman killing Zod, which I didn't necessarily have a problem with him doing that, because
I didn't either.
From what I remember, and people can feel free to correct me on this, but Superman, like, even though he does have a no-kill rule for the majority of situations, there are exceptions, like with Doomsday, that show he will kill if it's absolutely necessary. So I don't see this as like a violation of his moral code or anything, because he does it as a last resort when Zod becomes an imminent threat to the people around them. Now, should they have done something like that in the first movie, though?
You know what? I'm thinking about this as a whole. Even with the changes that they made with Superman with no killing, if you really think about it, he's not killing a human. He's killing another individual from his home planet. So if you really want to get down to the DNA aspects of it, He's not technically killing anybody on Earth. Except for the Zod and Superman fight scene. That was atrocious. But what I will say is that he's technically not killing people from Earth.
Oh, yeah, and I think that was part of the main issue with this version of Superman was that it got way too dark, way too fast. Like, Snyder's movies overall lacked any real sense of hope or optimism, which is quite literally the essence of Superman's character. The whole point of Superman's character isn't the flashy abilities or him throwing people into buildings. The whole idea of Superman is that he's an avatar of hope. Superman without hope is essentially not Superman. That's what separates him from characters like Homelander and Omni-Man. So that's why having him kill in the very first movie just wasn't received well by the casual audience. However, I do understand why Zack had him do that. It was to humanize him, and we especially see that with the scream after the fight, which is why I don't understand why these same fans of the Snyder movies are screaming at this scene from James Gunn's movie that shows Superman getting healed after a big fight. When the solar rays are healing Superman's broken bones and ligaments, it's a painful process for him, but it essentially serves the same purpose. This is literally done to humanize him, to show...
What if... Check this shit out. This is my theory. You guys want my theory on this? I need to get ibuprofen. That's not my theory. You guys want to hear my theory on this little scene right here? I know that you can't see it, but solar rays come in and he's screaming, right? What if the scene of Lex Luthor walking in to the fortress, what if he found a way to manipulate that device to where instead of Superman taking in solar energy, he's being attacked by it? He does something to the machine, and that's why he's screaming, and that's why, if you look in that scene, the robots are kind of freaking out a little bit, because it does not look right. What if that's what happened?
So that even with his outwardly abilities, he can still feel pain and other humane traits. It's the same thing with...
Look, see, they're kind of freaking out. You see what I'm saying?
The dog scene. A lot of fans are screaming about this. This is literally done to humanize him, to show that even with from James Gunn's movie that shows Superman getting healed after a big fight. When the solar rays are healing Superman's broken bones and ligaments,
dude, they're kind of freaking out a little bit.
It's a painful
like this isn't normal,
but it essentially serves the same purpose. This is literally done to humanize him, to show that even with his outwardly abilities, he can still feel pain and other humane traits. It's the same thing with the dog scene. A lot of fans are screaming about this for no reason, saying that Krypto beating on Superman is some kind of attempt to emasculate his character, when in reality, dogs play...
Tyrone Magnus made it into his fucking video.
Fight and roughhouse with their owners all the time, even when the owner may not necessarily be in the mood for it. So Krypto doing this to Clark is meant to be realistic and relatable, not some humiliation ritual like some people are making it out to be. I've even noticed with the recent trailer that haters are even turning some of their backwards criticism and nitpicking towards some of the side characters, saying that James Gunn apparently ruined Hawkgirl and compared it to the version of Hawkgirl in the Justice League show, when first off, this isn't even the same version of Hawkgirl. While the one in the Justice League Unlimited show is Shayera Hall, this is Kendra Saunders. This is the younger reincarnation who is usually shown to be less mature than her other counterparts. And even if this was Shayera, I don't see how her cracking a joke is out of character, since even she cracks jokes and is playful with other Justice League members in the show from time to time.
Yo, Shayera was a straight up hoe. Straight up.
What? I missed the dress. You didn't miss it last night?
Oh my god. See what I fucking mean? Ridiculous.
Anyway, it didn't seem like the right outfit for an archaeological dig.
And then Green Lantern seems to be getting some weird criticism as well. There was this one tweet I saw that was saying Green Lantern doesn't make constructs out of thin air, and this somehow got over 10,000 likes. When if you've read any comic or played any of the Injustice games or seen the shitty live action movie, you would know that's literally how a Green Lantern ring works. It creates constructs by...
Stupidest fucking comment I had ever read for this film. I swear to God.
Using willpower to manipulate matter. In other words, they do in fact create constructs out of thin air by thinking about it. Why the hell does this tweet have so much upvotes and engagement for being wrong? That's beyond me. So yeah, to summarize, people are saying that, you know, James Gunn fans aren't willing to accept criticism, but a lot of this criticism is just nitpicking and people looking for shit to be mad about. While it is unfortunate that Cavill Superman never really got a chance to develop and grow, y'all shouldn't be taking it out on James Gunn. It's fine to just appreciate both iterations of Superman. We don't need to drag one down.
All iterations of
and
Superman.
while I will agree that Snyder's Superman looked better visually, narratively. At the same time, visuals aren't everything, and there is a reason why that universe came to an end. This time, DC seems to have learned their lesson and are focusing on making a captivating Superman experience instead of just trying to compete with Marvel. Now, of course, we can't make statements on the quality of the movie for certain until it comes out, but at the end of the day, even though I do have some minor criticisms myself, I do hope the movie is good, unlike these people who are just looking for excuses to hate it just off of a 2-minute trailer. Criticism should be to improve media, not drag it down. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. I know it was a little short, but let me know what you guys think. If you like what you see, be sure to like the video, share, comment on the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Dude, go subscribe to that dude. I'm gonna fucking subscribe to that dude. And I don't subscribe a lot. But yeah, that was a really good take. I really like what he had to say. Do it, lady. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got. What I will say on my own... You know what? Let's end this with the trailer, right? Let's end this with the Superman trailer. And then I'll give my opinions.
Superman. The most powerful being on planet Earth. We finally meet. Now, as planned.
Wait. Hold on. So I got the cup. Okay. I'm a little bit curious because you have the emblem here, right? So I'm wondering if we're going to see this emblem later on. Original. This one. This one. This one. This one. Was it blue when they activated it? Hold on. Oh, it doesn't even show. Whatever.
Finally made. Now, as planned. I'll destroy you.
Oh, I'm way too fast.
We finally meet. Now, as planned. I'll destroy you. And of course, that reporter you always do interviews with. Who raised you as a child? I'll kill them too.
I ruined it for you guys. I didn't even switch off, so I'm gonna switch off right now.
Superman. The most powerful being on planet Earth. We finally meet. Now, as planned. I'll destroy you. And of course, that reporter you always do interviews with. Who raised you as a child? I'll kill them too.
No matter what you do to me, Luther, your plans won't work.
Wrap it up.
Good luck with that.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Make a move, Big Blue.
Make a move, Big Blue.
They chose him. Let them die.
messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
Hey, buddy.
Eyes up here. Okay. I want to see the Superman first trailer again. It's been a while since I've seen the very first trailer. Here we go. Does the first trailer hold up from what all these other trailers that we've seen within the past months? Let's see. That collection looks a little bit different. Is this it? I don't think this is it. Yeah, it is it. Okay.
Crypto. Home. Take me home.
Superman.
Yeah, it holds up. Yeah, it holds up. I think anybody who's ever fallen in love with Superman at some point in time in life, like this song is like everything. It's everything. Yeah, he got it. He got it. I think it's gonna do great. I think, in my personal opinion, with everything that they've been able to show, I personally think that this is gonna be more pushed towards kids, but there is some adult aspect that we're going to be able to connect with on a different type of level as well. So I think it's going to be meant for everybody. I don't think it's going to beat Christopher Reeves, but this is what I'm going to suggest. I personally think out of all the Superman films live action that I have seen, I think this is going to be number 2 for me. I think this is going to be number 2 for me. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna do very well in the box office because the way that they're pushing the film is all kids, toys, marketing. I think you can even get some of the stuff like at certain fast food chains. Like the marketing for it is unbelievable. Them being able to push out so much of Superman, not only for the kids but for the adults as well, because McFarlane started making his toys. NECA, I believe, has maybe one toy. I can't remember. But just the marketing in general for this film is absolutely unbelievable. So I think that it's going to pay off. If it doesn't, it's going to take a major hit a major hit. It's not going to be the end of DC, but it's going to take a major hit. But I think the probability of that is low. I think everything that James Gunn has been able to do, I think everything that David Cornswet has been able to do, and the rest of the cast, I can continue to go on, they're advertising it the way that they know that it should be advertised, and that this isn't just a film for one individual franchise or one person. James Gunn had mentioned, like, we kind of lost our way as a community and as a society, and people are just not being together anymore, and this is what it's supposed to kind of come into. Superman is supposed to be the embodiment of everything that is good, everything that is right, justice. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to do well, and I hope you guys are going to go enjoy the film as much as I most likely will enjoy them. It's a James Gunn film, so I'm going to like it either way, because for me, he's never personally made a whole film. He's never made a bad film. But what I will say is that he's doing a lot of the fans justice with certain things that he's already created. So that's my take. I'm going to see you on the theaters. I hope you have a fantastic day. And if you want, stay tuned, because we're going to get back on with some gaming. So we'll talk to y'all soon. I love y'all. Don't forget to check out all the additional social media down below.